So happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Parent Everyone Friday's webinar. This month is all about B1 Usability Package. And I'm very happy to have with me on the call Rosi from BoyumIT, one of our best partners, solution partners. With that being said, Rosi promised me that she's not going to sorry. Rosi promised that it's not going to be more than 5 minutes presentation.
You're right.
Following that, it's going to be a product demo. So, Rosi, thank you so much. With that being said, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Oren. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. As Oren mentioned, my name is Rosi Coronado. I'm with the Boyum Group. And in today's session, we're going to see the B1 Usability Package. Just a little bit of background of myself is I used to implement SAP Business One for years and years. And my thing is I used to work with a lot of end users like you, and nobody should run SAP Business One without the Usability Package. It will automate your process. It will help you grow, and the system will work the way you want it. Okay, so you will have the best user experience because you can modify things in a very simple way. As Oren mentioned, we have been partners with Pioneer One with Oren for a very, very long time. We have a great partnership. We want the best for our customers, and that's our main goal. We want to make sure the system works for you the way you want it. We want you to come to work and love coming to work because you have a great system you have in front of you. Okay. The B1 Usability Package is an award-winning solution with SAP. We are, of course, partner with SAP. We have won many awards with SAP. I just know I was at the SAP summits the past few years, and we have won the People Choice Award, which we are very proud of because that means that people really like our solutions. Our solution, yeah, we have more than one. So this is the SAP Business One you all know. If you have SAP already running, this is what it looks like. And this is what it can look like with the B1 Usability Package. You see, you can customize your screen the way you want it. And the beauty is you can customize a screen for a certain user group or certain users, and then you do a different customization on a screen for a different user group. For example, business partner group, accounts receivable, maybe wants to see different stuff than accounts payable. So you can customize it like that. As I just said, customization, it's really, sometimes I don't like that word because it's really to tell, I mean, just change your system around the way you work it because you don't need to have customization knowledge. Build business logic. We want the system work for you the way you want it. And that's what goes back. You will see certain things today. You're going to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe it does it. This is I've been asking for. I'm going to show you some examples. I know every customer asked me when I used to implement SAP Business One.
Just to add to that, Rosi, the real strength of BoyumIT is the ability to do customizations without the need for custom add-ons and many multiple custom add-ons. The ability with Boyum is to use one add-on that can do potentially a lot of customization without necessarily to understand code.
Absolutely, totally correct. You don't need to know coding at all. So we have more than 7,000 customers around the world. We are very international. As you can see, we're in more than 100 countries, and we have more than 150,000 users. Okay, those are our products we offer. Switched a little bit to the right, but today we're going to look at the usability package. If there's any other products you're interested in, please talk to Oren. We can set up a session because all those products, like for example, B1 iPayment, that's a credit card solution. If you need a credit card solution, that's the way to go. If you need a CRM for Outlook, great tool, great integration with SAP Business One. Print and delivery, which is a module within the usability package, it's very much liked by customers because you can automate your emailing in a very, very simple way. But if any of those applies to you and you would like to have more information, please contact Oren. We can set up another session or whatever you need. But today we're going to go to the usability package. So what can you do? Create new navigation, automate your tasks. So in SAP, sometimes you do click a lot. And I totally agree with that. I started with SAP when it came to the US the first time. And there's a lot of clicks, and you still sometimes have a lot of clicks. So automate your tasks and ensure data, meaning set validations so that people put in, your staff puts in correct information. And you know, I'm a big believer. You put good stuff, correct stuff in the system, you get correct reports. If you put junk in the system, you get junk reports. So make sure you validate your data, ensure your data. So what happens when you need usually customization? You need a developer. You'd have to scope it out for the developer. That sometimes takes a lot of time right there. I used to do that also. Then they start coding, and then you have to test it. And between testing and coding, that takes a long, long time. And then you have to train people, and then maybe they find that mistake. Okay? And with the usability package, you can do it your own. You don't need a developer. You don't have to go through all this because it's a very, very easy tool to customize your SAP Business One. And as Oren said, we work very close with SAP. So if you need to do an upgrade on your SAP Business One, you don't have to worry about our products. They will upgrade seamlessly, because we are the ones who work with SAP. They come out with the new version 9.3, they're coming out with 10, I think, soon. So we make sure our products work and upgrade perfectly fine with it. If you do development, when people go into your tables, you do not know when you upgrade if this is going to break it. Most likely a lot of custom development will break. Okay, out of my experience, but you don't have to worry about this with the usability package. So what can you do in 5 minutes? So if I go into the system, you'll know SAP Business One, and I'm going to put in a sales order. So show you, I'm going to open up my sales orders, and you already see my screen totally different than what you're used to, most likely, but we'll go through all those buttons and I will show you. I just got to keep myself focused to keep the slides in order. So I'm putting in 3 items. First, you see already it says no available credit. So I have a validation running in the background, which looks at the customer balance and it looks at their credit limit. And I'm warning the salesperson, no available credit. I can set it so they can input in a sales order. But in this case, I'm going to just give him a message, hey, no available credit, so they know they need to go and see why they have so much open, why they haven't paid. And if I drill back to the business partner, you see that their balance is red because they're above the credit limit. Okay, well, they have 0. So if I keep scrolling, you see there's some that are green. So that means they're within the credit limit. So this is a very nice validation. If you have credit limits, you log on, you know exactly if they are over or not. So I have a question if it works on the portal. What do you mean? I'm not sure what the portal is, or in UMI. We'll get back to it at the end, okay? I'm going to do a Q&A at the end, so please, if you keep your questions, and then we can go through it at the end. Okay, maybe during the demo, I will answer some questions. Okay. So I'm putting in a sales order, and I'm an eager sales employee. I really want to sell it because I want the commission. And you, as a manager, as an owner of the company, you don't want them to put in over such high discounts because you're losing money. So I have it set up so when the sales employee clicks add the user, it tells me you have several lines that have more than 10% discount. It gives me the line number, the item code, and the item description. You can just show the line number. It's up to you what you want to show here. And you know, to me, it makes most sense just the line number. but I want you to see how flexible it is, what you can see. And in my case, I'm saying, do you want to continue, yes or no? But you can block the user. You can just say, please change it, and otherwise you cannot add the document. So you can actually block the user. They cannot continue unless they change it. So what else can you do with B1 Up? Moving fields, hiding fields, background colors, and so on. I'm going to show you really quick. You might see on a couple of things, you might say, oh, SAP can do it. By my experience and the customers' feedbacks I get, they do use Boyum because it's so much easier to use. But let's do some screen design. First,
Rosi,
yes.
just quick answer to Tim's question. It's not a customization and it's not an add-on that works on the portal. It works only on SAP Business One client. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Oren, if you can keep an eye on the questions because I have it minimized. Okay?
Will do.
Thank you. So you can create your own menu. So there is, for example, I have a menu and I just have a report here. I added a SQL report, and just imagine maybe you have somebody in your company, they really just go in and want to look at the reports quick or dashboards quick or whatsoever. You can put it all in their own menu. You can go outside SAP. What this does, it just pulls up a website, for example, the Boyum website. We have also called something a UDD handler, user-defined table handler, if you ever worked with that. And if not, I want you to know it's there. You can actually attach a user-defined table with the usability package and see how much friendlier it is right here. And you can update that table straight from here. You can put it on a menu, you can put it on a button, wherever you want it. And you just put in that information from here, and of course it will update your user-defined table where you created it in a very simple way. You can put you know, the lines gray and white. You can put a button here. This is just a message button, and so on. And you can do a line search. Just imagine you have a user-defined table. They have 100 lines, so you can do a line search here. But you can create your own menu, and of course you can rename the menu if needed. So I'm going into the business partner master data, because that's what I'm going to concentrate on. What you see here is I have turned on default data. You can set up default data for a business partner and items, meaning once you log on, you know how the system goes into ad mode. It's going to ask me, do you want to change the price to affect the group I'm about to change it to? Because SAP, when you add a business partner, it defaults to the first group because it's alphabetical. But maybe I have a different group, like 80% or 90% my customers I put in. So I'm going to click yes, and you will see it changed to production because I have default data set up. I also have like a credit limit already filled in because I have it set as a default data. So that comes very handy. I have 3 properties checked because I have it set up like this in the default data, because that's what I do mostly when I put in a new business partner. So now let me finally pull one up. So you see already I put the name in blue. I see that my federal tax ID is orange because it's a mandatory field. And you see you can make your own little help question marks here in a very simple way. It's really just right clicking and doing it. You make your own help and you just put your own text in here, or you can put a link and then you click more info. Okay, so if you have user-defined fields and you put them over in the main screen and people always ask you, what am I supposed to put in there? This is the way to go. Okay, so you can, so to set mandatory fields, all you do is really you right click and go to B1 Usability Package and just say make this field mandatory. And you will see this field will turn orange. because all my mandatory fields, because I started out already, they will be set to orange. If you want to go back and maybe change the color or change something, of course, you always have the, you can always go in here, edit mandatory fields. Everything I do is with the right click now. Okay, see, like I said, you don't need to have coding experience. And you see I have those two fields mandatory. Maybe I want to change the text color, the background color, and maybe I want to make it this red. You can do that. And then the beauty is you can do it for certain users. So I'm going to say, okay, I only want to have it mandatory for certain users because those are the ones that never fill it in right, or make it mandatory for everybody. You can also put an empty value, meaning, okay, if somebody puts 99999, this is it's considered an empty value. So you have a lot of flexibility like that. Mandatory fields is something I always got because a lot of people struggle with people putting in correct the data. If you want to hide an item, you just right click and say, okay, you know what, hide this item, I really don't want it. And you'll see it's going to go away. If you want to move an item, you just go in here. Let me do the territory. You just go in here, right click, and you just say move this item. And then it's going to ask you, where do you want to move it to? You can do it above an item, below, to the left, to the right. Okay, so I'm going to do it below. And now it's going to ask, it's asking me where. Click on the label. So label means click on the name. So I'm going to just stick it right here under alias name. And it's there. So you can start designing, just move stuff around. If you want to set something read-only, so nobody should touch that, it's going to be read-only for certain users. For example, you can say make this item read-only. And what you see here is all the fields from the business partner master data. That's a little bit busy, but the beauty is with the B1 usability package, if you do view system information, I have it on, and you right click on a field, you get this menu, copy system data information, and you get everything about this field. If I have people online that do queries, this is a beautiful tool for you just to copy the item syntax to the query. So I know it's 128. If I go right here, I just go down to 128. And I know it, there we go, foreign name. I'm going to make it read only in OK mode. Sometimes it doesn't make sense in add mode or find mode, you know, it's depending what you need. And then I can say, okay, I'm going to include those users. Those are, you know, you just check them, which one should not be able to edit this field. They only can read it. You do that and you click update and you will see that this field now is grayed out. So I cannot touch it. There we go. That's how simple it is. Very common, if you have user-defined fields and you want to stick them over to the main menu, of course, you just right-click, put it to the main menu. That's how simple it is. Again, it's asking you where you want it. With user-defined fields, as you see, the left option is not supported. I'm just going to stick it below again because I have so much room here, and I'm going to stick it here. And you see it's going to move over to the main menu. And of course, it's going to stay on the right side. That's where the original field is. And if I go and use this one, I want you to see this one too. This is a combo box. This is a drop-down box you can create with SAP Business One and stick it right here. So now you have this user-defined fields there, and then you say, okay, this has to do with an item. I really want to have a golden arrow so I can drill back to the item master. Okay. Or maybe I don't want a drop-down box. I want to have something else. I want to have maybe a checkbox. So now I'm going to go in and show you where all those fields, what we just did, where they were moved to. So I'm designing this screen. You know, I'm designing, and now you can say, okay, this screen design is for certain users or user groups. And then you can design another screen for different users. Okay, so you're right in here And you see on top, you see all the SAP fields. Those are the SAP items. And on the bottom is the UDFs. And you see they have some numbers here. You don't have to worry about anything. All you do is right click and tell it where you want it. So you most likely don't need to go in there very much. You can block the UDF bar, sidebar, meaning so on the side, display UDF, they cannot do that. A lot of people bring the UDFs into a one tab, and I'll show you how to create a new tab, and then they just block the bar. But now let's say this UDF has to do with an item, and I want to really have a golden error. All you do is go to this column, golden error, item. You have all those predefined windows. But I know it's an item. And then on the drop-down box, I really don't want that. I really want a different kind of box, and I'm going to do a checkbox. I just want you to see the flexibility. I'm going to click Update. And there we go. And in this case, I do have to go out and go back in, so the golden error can create. And let me pull one up. That's my default again. And if you have data in there now, you see I have my golden error. I can go back to the item master data, and you see this is a checkbox now. Instead of a drop down, you just check it yes or no. So maybe you want to create a new tab. A lot of people do that. You want to create a tab. Very simple. Right click, B1 Usability Package, create new tab. So you can create a SQL tab. So that means you can actually put a SQL report in a tab. I have it right here. I'll show it to you in a minute. Or a custom tab. So when you do custom tab, all your UDFs will show. And then you say, okay, I'm going to put those, and those in there. Okay. And click OK. It's creating the tab. In this case, I'm going out and go back in for it to create all the way. And if I go pull up the business partner, you see right here, let me make my screen a little bit bigger. There's my test tab, and there is 3 user-defined fields. And then you can say, okay, I want to have maybe the fax number over there, and just make your own tab so you don't have to go through all those tabs all the time. And this is something a sales manager said, Rosi, it's great, but there's so many tabs. I want to have one tab with all the fields I need. And there we go. You just build it the way you want it. And when I say SQL tab, you can do that too. You can, for example, this is a SQL report. It looks at my business partner, and it pulls all the credit memos and invoices. And if I go to a different business partner, you will see it's different data, because now it's looking at Maxitech. Okay, so this is when screen design. Everything I showed you was basically a right click. You don't need to do anything. Of course, have a super user to do all this and not ever use in your company started designing, but it's really, you don't need any development knowledge. You just do everything with a right click. Easy access. So you already saw a lot of buttons. You saw the screen design. So as I mentioned earlier, sometimes you have a lot of clicks to do in SAP. So if you create buttons, you can stay on one screen and do your stuff. For example, this sales report, I can also pull it up as a button. Okay, so it's the same report. So it's what you prefer. And you could also make a right click menu. I don't have it right here, but like I have invoice here, this just opens up the invoice. You can also create a right click menu. If you have users that like to right click, create their menus there. Okay, so what can you do? Top 10 items for this customer, top last 10 purchased items. I gotta change the title. So it pulls it up for Maxitech. If I go to a different customer, again, it will look at the customer and it will show it to me. It changes. Website. So in this case, I go outside. SAP, it's actually, I told the usability package, go to Google and I want you to Google the name of this business partner. And here it is. It Googles the name. Very handy on the sales order also when you have salespeople putting in a sales code so they can go to their website. You can do multiple buttons. For example, from here I can do a sales order, goods receipt, activity. You just click on it and it happens. Or you can do a single button. There's activity, I have it right here actually too, and just say it what it is. What's really, really nice is you can attach a dashboard. Okay. With the usability package, it comes with and I don't know the number, it's 8+ dashboards already pre-designed. You see this is new. We have sales process flows, you have different flows you can attach on your dashboards, purchasing process, sales, inventory management, and financial process. You can display it on your dashboard, and all those are already, they come with the system. They come with the B1 app, so you can use those, or you can create your own dashboards like you saw right here, My View or Miami. I created those my own. There's my sales dashboard. I think they're beautiful. There's my purchasing dashboard. So you decide what you would like to have. And I have this button right here, Hide Dashboard. So when you're on the screen, you can hide it so it's not so busy. But you can take one of your dashboards you have and you put it into a button. So you're on a business partner, you're on a sales order, you want to see the sales dashboard, and it opens it up right here. And what I can do now, since I have it on a button, I can move it outside SAP. I'm going on to the other screen, you cannot see it, but actually I'm moving it on the other screen. So I can work and have the dashboard open next to me. Okay. To create the button, very, very simple. Just right click, B1 usability package. I'm going to go to edit function buttons. And again, you can create those buttons for certain users. And then you do different buttons for different users. And you see, I did a SQL report I can attach. I can go outside SAP with the website. You can do a crystal report. You have many, many options what you want to attach. I'm going to click add. And those are all your predefined windows you can go to. Okay, so let's go to credit note. The reason it says credit note, because if you have a vendor app, you know, it's also a credit. That's why it doesn't say AR or IP, because it can go on the vendor side too. So I'm going to come out and I go back in, and you will see the button is created. That's all you do. It takes you not even a minute if you just take any of the pre-designed windows. And if I click right here, the credit note will open. That's how simple it is to create button. And the same thing you can do right click. So if you're ready to do right clicks instead of the button, as you saw, you just create a right click menu. Very, very simple. Automation. We like that a lot. Automation is when I mentioned at the beginning, let the system do it for you. Don't, you know, there's sometimes so many clicks. One of my favorite is this one. I'm going to go straight to a sales order from here, from the business partner screen. Get out of this one. So I have a sales order here. So a lot of companies, and I'm not sure about you, but just so you get an idea. So you have a document and you want to copy this document to another document with the line items, right? So what happens a lot in the real world, people have shipping warehouses. So when people do, when they do a sales order, they have to do an inventory transfer request. So they bring the items to a shipping warehouse. It's here. And then they have to type everything in because they sold those items and they have to move them. So with B1 usability package, you can just click here, transfer request, and the system does it for you. It goes through the lines, it copies everything over, and you actually can make the system to click add also. I didn't in this case, but I could click add and close the window and I don't have to do anything. So you can do automations like that. Let the system do it for you. Okay. If I stay on the screen on the sales order, this one is a button, customer information, one of my favorites too. It gives you the statistics about this customer. Okay, how many invoices they have and how many are open and when the last time when they purchased something and so on. This one goes out to the website. It would Google Protomex. Shipping. So if you have a logic, you can always automate it. So I click shipping and you see shipping was added to the sales order itself, $75. So I'm going to delete this shipping and I'm going to change my quantity. So I have it based off the quantity, okay, in my case. So I'm going to click shipping and you see it adds the shipping, but it gives them 50% discount because my logic says if they order between 10 and 20 items, they get 50% discount. I'm going to delete it again so I won't confuse you, and I'm going to change it to 20 because, and it also says if they have more than 20, they get 100% discount on the order, on the shipping. Okay, so that's how you can automate stuff. Validate the data in the background and then automate it, let the system add the stuff for you. Okay, there's an item report just to show you, and I forgot, I think it's what they have bought last, yeah, it's just by date what they have bought. So you actually can go in here just to show you and change the quantity from here, and then you can select and copy this into your sales order. I like this one better, the select top items. It's just a query, whatever you want to pull. It's another query. It's also a SQL report, and you go in here, and again you can change the quantity and select. I like the checkboxes better, but I want you to see that you have several options, and it puts it into your sales order. Let's say you have a special running, deal of the month. Do a button. So the employees, when they have the deal of the month, they just click on it and it adds it to your sales order. Or if there is something your customer always orders, or, you know, like in this case, paper, because we're in a printing industry, just click on it and then you don't have to go here and pull it up every time on the inventory list. So automated. This one is also nice. Line search, I got that a lot. I have it activated. It's like if I have a sales order with 100 items, I want to search if this item is on the sales order. So you can do a line search on here. I've got to see, I've got to find an item name, shipping, and it jumps to it. Okay, so you don't have to go and scroll up and down. Okay, so automate your data, default data as used, and you can also create templates. For example, in a sales order, you can, okay, this is a sales order, I do always the same. You can create a template and then pull it up. We have an input and export tool, which requires XML knowledge. So if this is something you think you need or are interested in, please let Oren know. I don't have an example, unfortunately. And then alerts and validation. You already saw mandatory fields. Put colors on there. Validate your data to make sure your data is correct. We have Toolbox. This is something you guys gonna like. So I'm gonna access it from here. It's faster. Toolbox configuration. You have 40 plus more options to turn on or to not to turn on. So you saw already on mine, when I do a sales order, or if I'm on the business partner, you see flags right here. So I just said, okay, use flags. Okay, start the name field. You know, when you it's on the business partner and even on the item master, when you open it, it always jumps to the code. You see mine jumps to the name field. Got this a lot in my implementations. I said, I don't know the code, I just want to start typing the name. So you just check it right here, start in name field. Use email button, that goes to the business partner. And if you have an email on the right here, it just opens up the email for you. Okay, to open up on the other screen. Use the email button. Oops. Here it is. Okay, so you have certain configurations for business partner, for items, for documents. Okay, banking also. I always want my payment means to default to credit card or transfer, and I want you to use this account. And I also want you to auto summarize the total, so you don't have to put it in Control B or the shortcut key or type it in. Okay. So you have all those. Usually I do say to all users on this one, please just press F1 and just go through each one, and it will explain it to you. And this is the help. This is, for example, the little question marks you can do yourself. This is the steps how you do it. And it's always there. The explanation is written very simply, and everybody can understand it. One of the most popular ones is this one, go to new sales document. So go to new, what does that mean? You know, when you put in a document in SAP Business One, it goes away. And then you have to come up here and pull it back up. So if you have that checked on the toolbar, what this does, it stays on the screen for you. If I click add, you're gonna see it adds, and it doesn't go blank the screen. It stays, it keeps that purchase order in there for you. And this is really just a setting right here, go to new. But as I said, just press F1, go through all of them. Some like automatic numbering, SAP can do that now. You don't need that if you start out now. Of course, we leave it in there because people do use it. Before SAP had that function. So some things you most likely won't need, but then there's a lot of stuff you will love. User-defined windows. As you know, when you have, if I have technical people on here, if you have, of course, you have Boyum tables in here, and you see you can gray them out for all the users so they cannot touch them. Toolbox is great. That's something a lot of times missed by users, but go in there. This is a wonderful features you can set. And then we have the Master Data Manager. This is, if you already run SAP Business One, you know when sometimes you have to do an update. Either you have to do DTW, Data Transfer Workbench, or you do it manually. Those are your options. But with the B1 Usability Package, there is a function called Master Data Manager. With all those topics, you can do mass updates. And usually I say, just imagine if you can do it manually, you most likely can do it in here. For example, if, for example, you have a new price list and you have 2,000 customers, now you have to update those. Of course, some people go into the query SQL Studio, but you shouldn't. But here you can go in here, you find your customers, and then you say, okay, all those customers, I'm just gonna do a couple, all those customers gonna get this, where is it? I'm going to change it to this price list. Okay. No, I don't know. This has nothing in there. So, and then you just click execute. And then you see it's going to update it for you as a mass update. That's a very simple way, and it tells you right there to update. Another one of my favorite is this here. If you have sales employee, and let's say I'm a sales employee, I'm leaving the company and I have 300 customers. So you can go in here and find all the customers from this sales employee, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put certain ones to Sophie and maybe other ones and execute it. And you just move it over to the new sales employee in a very simple way, and then you can look up the opportunities from Brad and the open sales documents and so on. Another one that's used very much is this one. What I usually get from users is, and you saw that you can always aware condition. You can always do a SQL condition. they're going to say, okay, I'm going to get all my open sales orders or sales quotation whatsoever. I don't know if yeah. And then you maybe do a SQL condition, okay, where the posting date is more than 90 days, for example, okay, and then you just go in here, close them or cancel them. That way you keep your data clean and you don't have old junk hanging out there. Okay, very simple tool, very powerful, a lot used by our customers, because when I do training, a lot of people use that one. And then, of course, as you have seen, that's the dashboards. I already showed it to them. I gotta move the slide a little bit ahead. Dashboards, it comes with predefined dashboards. If you cannot use the cockpit, you have to turn the cockpit off, and you can create your own dashboards. Okay. So that's basically it with the usability package. That was a overview of what you can do. Of course, you can do so much more, but I think that gives you a good idea how you can customize your SAP Business One without being a developer, and just make the system work for you the way you want it. Now we can. I was good on time, Oren. Now we can do questions if you would like.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Rosi. So we opened now for any questions or any things that you may want to see, either technical or concepts questions. Yeah, please unmute yourself. Feel free to type it in the chat or just ask.
And another thing, you can download the solution for a 20 days trial version just to try it out. I know you won't be disappointed, and Oren's team can help you with that. Any questions? Unmute yourself, as Oren said, or put it in the chat. There might be something in there. Let me see. Oh, no, that was the old one.
All right, you did such a great job, so there are no questions. So maybe we'll wait a few more seconds, see if anybody has a question.
Sure. And if anything comes up down the road, or like as soon as we hang up, please feel free to email Oren. He's able to help you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Rosi, for an excellent presentation. We really appreciate you and personally and our partnership with Boyum. And as Rosi mentioned, if you have any question, feel free to send it to us. And thank you so much. Have a great rest of your Friday. Happy weekend.
Yeah. Same to you all. Thank you for your time.
You too. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.